and getting a rush on yellow. Probably where it is currently is about perfect, but the chances of actually having it stay where it is right now are low. And the other problem that he's got now is it looks like the last 3 peels will be straight. So putting red down to 4 back. So if he does get these next couple of shots, he does have a chance of peeling blue before 3 back. But a difficult couple more shots.
How far north to 4 back do you put red, Edward? Do you?
Well, if I'm really trying to
or right up,
get the peel, it depends what Robert's trying to do. If he's going to be rolling it and thinking, okay, I'm going to try and get the peel with the roll, so it could end up anywhere really between 3 back and 4 back. Oh dear. So that best case scenario here is really in the jaws or a yard through. He's going to struggle to get that much further down.
So that looked like an inch too hard or half an inch too hard?
Yeah, well, just not quite hard enough with his croquet stroke up. So as I said, blue was probably in the perfect position and angle where it was sitting. So he really had to get his croquet stroke effectively resting on the ball to be able to play this. That is a
good peel. And,
really tremendous shot.
That's the shot of the
That's actually outrageous. That is, he hasn't quite got the rush, but it's pointing somewhat in the direction. So as long as he half balls yellow, and then from there, your question about where you're putting red, I think where he's got it now is really quite good. Because he can get a rush down, but he's still got a bit of room. It's not like he needs to rush blue all the way to 4 back perfectly. But he is still giving himself a chance of getting a peel if he does get it quite close. So ideally what he'll be doing is rushing blue to about 2 yards south of 4 back, and you're a chance of getting the peel if it's in a nice straight position. Or if he just puts it a few yards short and tries to get it in a nice straight position, ready for the straight triple. But another, long, difficult shot here. I actually don't mind this position where Robert is. It's a nice, easy half roll to get a ball sort of towards the south boundary. And if you smack through to the boundary, you're almost guaranteed a rush.
Some sort of rush,
So you can leave the hoop a little bit longer, which Robert's done. He's got
it's a good shot.
Yellow's swung quite a
bit
lot.
straight.
So
I was going to say
east of where he won it. Yeah,
it's not the easiest to approach lawn. Two back on lawn 1. It's always got some swing. So I think coming this angle, he should get the natural rush.
Okay, well, sextuple over.
Okay. Thank you,
I will leave it there. Thank you, folks. I'll catch you in a little while.
Yep.
Okay, see you, Ed.
Hey, Tim.
Hi, Peter. How are you?
Hey, good. Thank you, Tim. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, I'm sitting up in Port Macquarie at the moment on the south coast of New South Wales. And where are you? You'd be in Sydney, is that correct, Peter?
I'm in the middle of Sydney, yes. And we're commentating on how cold it looked in Melbourne. We both Trevor Bassett and Robert Fletcher are playing in long trousers and a jacket, which is a rare occurrence that both of them would be dressed like that.
Yeah. Well, we've just observed Robert Fletcher try to drive his black ball through the 7th hoop to get down to the border behind yellow and failed, unfortunately. And Lewis, of course, now has a lift, so he's playing red. And
we're thinking red is 4 hoops, 6,
back. I believe. That's 1 back. That's right. He's on 1 back and 9, so it'd be a struggle for him to get a triple from here. It'd be fantastic to see.
Yeah, maybe he's got some inspiration from watching Robert do those few peels of the sextuple. chances his arm at something. It looks like just loading 2 back with yellow and getting a rush on this black ball towards the blue ball, is it? I know he's taking the rush straight up to 1 back. It's a good controlled rush. You see the little flags in the background fluttering, and you can see the bit of wind you have to contend with to get that rush right, and that's pretty well played. Have you played Lewis yourself, Tim? Have you struck Lewis in any events? A nice hoop.
Now I realise why you couldn't hear me. Thanks, Serena.
Oh, no, Tim's back.
All right. Well, that's Lewis looks as though he's managing to bring his break together now. I still haven't managed to locate where the blue ball is.
I think it was towards 4 back where Robert had it left behind for his peeling turn.
Peeling, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, it was only, towards 3 back, not 4 back, yeah.
3 back, yep, got it. Yeah. Okay.
But Lewis has handled it well and got through 1 back. He had to play a good rush, and he's got all the balls out in the court. And he just needs to do a good takeoff to this 3 back ball and somehow manipulate it into a better position as a load into 3 back and still control 2 back. That's a good shot.
Yes, nice position on the blue now.
Have you played Lewis or come across Lewis in any of your events, Tim?
No, I have not played him. Where's he from?
He's Victorian. I'm not sure what part of Victoria, but there's Traralgon.
Traralgon, right, okay. No, I haven't played him, and I haven't played either of the Fletcher guys either. I know Trevor Bassett well from years back, but these guys, no, I've never, in fact, it's only the second time I've seen Robert play. I saw Robert play down at Rich River just recently. Now, I was asking you a question earlier on while I was on mute, which wasn't particularly a wise move. I play Solomon Grip, and I find windy conditions very difficult to control my mallet. And I suspect that with your grip, Peter, that you probably have better control because you're in a firmer position. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think so, yes. I know most Solomon players do complain about the wind or, don't like the wind, whereas the wind doesn't worry me. But I probably think I'm not as accurate as a single ball stroke with my grip. So there's a bit of a trade-off. I think Solomon is a extremely accurate grip to have and power to burn. You can get a big pendulum there and get plenty of power. But as you say, in the wind, it's prone to getting a bit of movement on that mallet.
That's correct, yes. So Lewis has just nicely made his hoop now. So interesting to see where he puts the yellow. I don't suspect that he'll try a triple. I think that's too hard now for him. But let's see.
Let's see.
Do you think the triple could be possible? He's got good loads at the ninth hoop, at the 8th and the 9th hoop. So sorry, the 9th and the 10th hoop.
Yeah, I'm not sure what distance this Croquet stroke got to play, but I mean, if you're putting yellow up there, you can put it right up at the jaws of the hoop if your other ball's good, and the triple's only on if you get a perfect start to a straight triple, but. It's a very, very low percentage, but you're not losing anything putting the shot out there as long as your other balls are in good positions. Otherwise, you're just turning it into a pivot ball break and relying on a good lead.
Well, I think he's probably thinking about it. That's a pretty good shot there.
Yep. It requires a very good rush into four back to get it straight. So you're wanting that one up right within a foot of the hoop.
That's
to
right.
Give yourself a real chance, but it was no harm in trying to get it there.
So you were talking about mallets earlier when you were commenting on the previous match. Now it looks as though we've got another trimmer / pidcock being used here by Lewis, I suspect.
Yes.
What do you play with, Peter?
Too, isn't it?
Yeah.
I play with an original Allen Pidcock mallet with brass ends. So not the trimmer Pidcock, just the Allen Pidcock. But my one's the round 57 millimetre diameter head, which he stopped making. He started making the narrower, I think 52 millimetre round one. So I think I got one of the last ones as a spare of the 57 round heads. But it's not to say I haven't played with plenty of other mallets in between. I've had that one since about 2007. And I have purchased plenty of mallets since then, but I've kind of always gone back to that Pidcock.
Oh, it's just that, well, I've got Dawson mallets from years back. But it's always interesting. I'm hoping at some stage to excuse me. There we go. Oh, that's a tight position that Lewis has got there.
Yeah, that's not easy. That's probably the worst possible position to get your mallet manipulated around that to get it straight. Yeah, your Millennium Dawson mallet, Tim, I love. I bought one of them myself quite a few years ago, and I think they're a fantastic mallet. They're virtually indestructible, and you have options of changing the weights and bits and pieces on them.
Yeah, well, look, I bought it from him when he first made those mallets back in 2000. And in fact, I'm going to borrow a trimmer from a friend and see how I go with that. I've been struggling to get any form, so obviously you at first you blame the mallet and not the player. So anyway, there's an interesting. We have the referee out who has now put marks down on the lawn so that if anything goes wrong with this shot, the balls can be repositioned accurately. So Lewis has got a tricky shot here. He looks as though he's less than a mallet head out of the hoop with his playing ball, and the blue must be 4 meters away, 3 meters away. What do you think, Peter? I think you'd be in good form here with your restricted backswing.
Yeah, it depends. Looks like he can get a bit of a punch through with his hand through the back of the hoop there, and as long as the red can hit the blue without having to twist the mallet, that's the biggest issue. If he has to twist the mallet on impact, it adds a huge degree of difficulty.
Well, it looks as though he is doing that punch stroke.
Yeah. So that means you usually aren't having to move the red to the left. You're just doing it straight.
Yes, he is doing that punch. That's a good shot there.
I call this the Kevin Baird Hampton stroke. He's the expert at this. So if anyone needs to grab Kevin and say, what do you do on this shot?
Oh, very well
Well
done. Yes, that's right. I'm an expert at barking my knuckles when I do that. So I don't like it very much.
Just going back one bit, that's a good example of the new rule in place to be aware of, that any accidental contact in a critical position could be the end of your turn. So before you even test that shot to see if you've got enough room, call the referee out, get the ball marked, and then if you do accidentally touch it, the ball can be replaced. But if it's not marked and you touch the ball, that'll be the end of your turn. So be aware of that rule, especially in that situation.
That's right. No, well, that was a good example there. So so Lewis is on game here. Blue to penult, or the 11th hoop, and going up to the black ball first, I suspect. That looks big.
It is big. Blues. Well, blues not ideal, but it's all workable.
Yeah. So we might see a triple attempted here. That would be great.
So you have.
So do we have Trevor Bassett in the room?
Maybe he's on moon.
Yeah.
Apologies for that, folks. Hopefully we'll recommence the audio shortly.
That looks nice. Ooh, he could have done with the red.
Hello, welcome back, Tim and Serena.
Oh, hey, gay. Who have I got? Is that Peter back on?
It's Peter back on. Yep. We're all here. Oh,
not too sure if that's gone through. Let's see whether he managed to promote the yellow through that hoop. He's already
we've
gone.
Missed a bit of action here.
Yes, he's gone through. He's actually gone. He's for the peg with red now. So he's got an interesting situation. How hard he wants to achieve this peel, because he can't do much after it.
No, maybe leaving yellow where it is isn't bad.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, I think that.
Oh, is that Trevor?
It is. Hello, Pete.
Hey, Trev. Good.
We've got about 7 minutes on this.
Ah, okay. So,
hello, Trev.
Red's coming off.
Here.
How are you, Tim?
I'm very good, thanks. I saw your earlier match against Trish. That was good. Well done.
Yes, scraped home. Yep, thank you.
Trevor, was 4-back posthumous or was it straight?
Straight.
Straight, okay.
But when he left, he was on a bit of an angle, and when he came through with his second ball, he ran into partner.
Okay.
Partner had gone through 4 feet, but yeah, because of the angle, he couldn't control it. So yeah,
so a couple of crucial
to get it back into penalty.
Agreed. Yep. It's like a couple of crucial shots coming up for Robert. He needs to hit one, and he needs to do something reasonably quick with one of the turns. No. And he did play that quick.
Very quick.
Yes, he did.
Yes, well done on your match, Trevor. Bad luck with the triple. We were commentating how tight it all was, and unexpectedly didn't finish, but well done for the win.
No, it was my last game was against you, Pete. I did the same thing, 3 peels.
The only thing when we were commentating, and a couple of the rushes you didn't quite get your rushes like you normally do in the middle when you rush to Penult, and was the hoop shot at Penult harder the second one than the first one?
Similar, probably not quite as hard, I don't think.
The second one was quite. Yeah, the first one was played a little bit more firmly for them than the second one, where I was interested to see how you play the second one, and it seemed to coast through. It was kind of a delicate shot.
The hoops don't seem to be overly challenging. It's more the hills trying to get positions on the hoops.
Yeah.
And a bit of wind every now and then too. So that's sort of what's keeping you a little bit tense. But we can see Robert trying to race around here and get crucial points. He's cooked it.
He has. How much time have they got left? Do you know?
About 5 minutes. Four and a half, 5 minutes. Yep. So he's got enough to get this ball, through obviously Rover and then set up for a 2-ball finish.
Yeah. He would have liked to have got through there, not even offer this shot, I think, from Toulouse. Take a little bit longer.
Got a free shot here. He's shooting pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty solid, isn't he, on everything?
Yeah, his rushes were really good. I mean, I was trying to play while I was watching him, but he was rushing really well until he got that rush to 5, which he sort of cut. And he played the next shot well, but yeah, started to put the pressure on from there. It was pretty conservative.
When we joined the commentary of this match, Lewis was on, I think 4 back, 1 back, or something like that. And Robert had just done the first peel of the sets tuple. So we were unsure if Lewis had basically got to 4 back and had a second break going before Robert got to go around and do a 1 back lead. Do you know if that was the case?
No, yeah. So Lewis made the first 9, and then Robert hit his lift, made 6, and Lewis hit the tea lady. Lewis was already for hoop 3. He got to hoop 3 first before he made his 9, and he hit the tea lady with a clip on 3.
Ah, okay, got you. Yeah.
So he was going around nicely. Got a little bit loose around 5, pulled it back in again. I missed what happened between sort of 6 and 1 back, but he got loose again by the sounds of it.
Great match.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah. So Robert's going as quick as he can, just in case he doesn't finish the 2-ball break. He can get off the court before his next turn.
He's in a pretty good position here, though, 12 and 7, so he's got the possibility of getting round and finishing the game here.
Yeah. It's not the easiest court to control a 2-ball break, so it is a good thing that he's grabbing some of these hoops.
Yeah, and not when you're trying to play this fast either.
No.
Sometimes I find
a bit
that
like his last
my advantage.
I think he's happy just to get up here and get off the court.
If anyone's familiar with Robin, he has made those fastest TPs in the world videos where he was running, so that may come in handy.
It was very strategic there, taking the wire, so he didn't have to take the shot. Didn't have to yard his ball in.
He got a whisper of the blue. So it's
playing for the
this
wire,
is when we need the clock. We need the tape countdown.
Yeah, I still reckon we've got 2 minutes.
Certainly quick.
I was going to say
you've got a few minutes,
Trip. Ball stop rolling. Yeah, I still reckon he's got over a minute and a half.
Okay, and he hasn't used the other ball, so he can leave a wire rush, can't he?
Yeah, he's not even going for the hoop.
No, he isn't. He's going for the next turn.
If the ball stopped.
But there must be less time than that, Trevor. He could have found the perfect spot, couldn't he?
Well, yeah, I think there's, again, it's about a minute.
Because whatever Lewis is seeing, he's going to have to shoot. So Robert might as well been over towards corner 4, wired on.
He might have even been able to stay where he was and be wired through hoop 2.
Yeah. But he's racing, so it must mean there's seconds left.
All right. Crucial shot coming up here.
Came off the mallet well, so it's got a chance. Oh, just to the right, not far off. Gee, you'd be happy over that distance. Yeah.
Yes, he must have been very close.
Looks relaxed now, so presumably he's got time.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think he would have been relaxed till that blue was definitely going past, the yellow was definitely going past the blue. That'd be about the only time he got relaxed. It was a good swing of the mallet from Lewis.
You almost had a triple with the rover hoop as well.
Yeah. Yes, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Well,
now, Trevor,
is there a better
about mallets earlier
triple
on, and I was just I was going to make some comments about your mallet and its slab of metal underneath.
The slab of metal is actually just a protective plate. It's only 1 mil thick. A bit of stainless. There's no.
To protect the underside of the mallet.
Yeah, just when I sit it on concrete and things like that, it doesn't eat away at the wood. But it's actually got stainless rods peripherally weighted in the ends.
Ah,
So that's
okay.
that's
Well,
where the weight comes
interesting.
from.
Yeah. Yeah, because I picked up your mallets, as you know, at Rich River, and it was, shall we say, a monster. Twice the weight of mine, I reckon.
314 is the weight. £3.14. I
Right,
still talk in the
okay.
old imperial scale.
Yes. Well, it is croquet after all.
Correct.
So he's being very careful about his lineup here. It almost looks
time
as
must
though
have well
he's
and truly gone.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
The only hoop I tried to slap in my game today was the Reither hoop.
No,
got my just deserves.
Well, we said you played it absolutely perfect. You'll be really happy with that. You could spank that to the bottom boundary, and wasn't expecting a rejection. So it looked a good spot.
And yeah, it was, and because of the hill coming into Rover, I actually had to play it almost at 5 and let the hill do the rest. So the result I was very happy with, and just got a bit excited, I think.
Trish's triple turn was pretty good, Trev. So,
fantastic, yeah, and again the two, and the 2-back blob was from nowhere, like it was totally unexpected.
So a good rush back up to the peg, and this was pretty much all over.
Oh, yeah, well, fantastic game. You know, Lewis getting a jump, Robert setting a 1-back leave, T-Lady getting hit. A fair chunk of the sets table done, and a peeled out in a single ball finish.
Yeah, no, it had a bit of everything this game, including time.
Including time. Is it 2 hour 15? Is it, Trevor?
Yeah, 2:15. They're trying to get 4 games in today. So
okay,
they must have played last weekend. And they had an hour left over. Yeah, had a couple of games pegged in last weekend.
There we go, and that's the finish for Robert.
Yeah, well done, Robert. Yeah, good scramble.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
With that in the end.
And who have you got next, Trevor?
I think it was Roger Bird. They told me he's playing out on court 6, court 5 at the moment. And,
just a couple of questions about the video. Are they only set up for this particular lawn?
I believe court 2, where I was playing just before, so just to the right of the screen we're looking at. They had a roaming camera down there when I was playing. So yeah, upstairs they've got a couple of fixed cameras and a roaming one down on the ground.
I've been impressed with the video, actually, especially from the long shots like this, where you can see the layout of the lawn, and followed up by some close-ups. It's been very good.
Yeah.
Okay. So the referee's out on this lawn at the moment, and it looks as though he's just making sure that the hoops are set to the required, presumably 3 11/16, I would imagine. They're not tighter than that, are they?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh, okay.
Hoop 1 on our court seemed to be a little bit wider. We seemed to both sail through that one, each direction.
You didn't seem to be having any problems with the hoops anyway, Trev, when you were playing.
No, just on the triple, yeah. But Alton Rover at the end, but it was more because I didn't get in front, not because they were too tight. A little bit tense. Too long between games.
Sure. Oh, well, yeah. Well, that's right. Well, too long. For me, it's too long between wins.
Oh, well, we have Josh Wilson in the forefront there, so he's going to be playing Lachlan Berryman. Court 1.
A good game. Where's Josh from? Oh, he's from Brunswick, isn't he?
Correct, yeah, local.
I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
That's my very first club was Brunswick. delightful club, and it had some interesting players just up at Coburg. Trevor, you might have come across one of them, Tom Howard.
Yes, correct. In my early days.
Yeah. He was a great coach. The two Toms, Tom Armstrong and Tom Howard, back in the late 70s and early 80s.
They were still floating around in the early 90s when I started. Lachlan played Trish this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lachlan's had a couple of good wins this morning.
Yeah, I didn't see the first game, but Trish said he did nothing wrong and zipped around very quickly. So he must be in some reason.
I think he tripled in the first one as well against Trish. So.
Okay. Yeah. I went out and grabbed some brekkie in my buy. So.
And Josh had a good win as well, but Josh has also come off a bye, so it's always a bit tricky sometimes. Play one, sit one, come against someone who's been running pretty good. You've got to get things in order pretty fast.
It looks like I've got an opponent, gentlemen, so I'm going to have to leave you guys. And,
okay, go well. Do you know what court you're on, Trevor?
No, I don't know yet. No, I'll wander downstairs and I'll be sure to be told.
So, Peter, it looks as though we've had a Duffer's Tice here by Josh. Are you a fan of the Duffer's Tice?
I am a fan of Duffer's Tice. I recommend most people explore Duffer's Tice as going second. I'm not a good expert. I'm not a very good shot sometimes, Tim, so I don't always play it myself. But I do think it's an extremely strong opening going second.
Yeah.
And Lachlan's put his first ball on the east boundary in a nice spot that it's he can shoot down from B-balk and be 9 yards separated. So if Josh does hit his own Duffer's Tice, the break's not an easy start. But the power of the Duffer's Tice is he's forced Lachlan into playing a 20-something yard shot straight away. Oh, no. The Duffer's Tice is short.
He's going for the Tice.
Yeah, but from the corner. Yeah, Josh's ball's a yard short, so sometimes it's hard to turn down.
And hits. Okay.
That's good camera angle.
See
Lachlan swing.
Yeah.
But seeing he has hit the Duffer's Tice, there's no break there. It's still got not a huge reward for the risk sometimes of shooting at it, but he can set a good dream leave here. Just simply take off from the red ball, pushing the red ball up the boundary a bit, but keep it in court by a few yards, and going to your own ball and setting a nice, perfect rush to that leave, to that red ball. So it's a nice position, Lachlan finds himself.
And that looks as though it's maybe 3 meters from the blue.
Yeah, and he'll be able to hit this blue and roll up a couple of yards and set that tight rush straight to the red ball. And Josh will be forced to shoot down from corner 3. Yeah, exactly where he wants it. Yeah. And he knows his rush is facing it. And the bonus of this opening position is if Josh does hit from B-balk down at blue and black, if he hits one of them clean, he's got to actually try to make that same rush himself to the red ball.
Yeah.
And if you hit one of those balls down towards the corner, it's quite tricky. I know he looks like he's lying. Looks like he wants to set this rush to hoop 1. It's
certainly does, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's.
Oh,
he's No.
He's going
okay.
for hoop.
It's adventurous. It's very difficult to get a break. Even running hoop one,
Yeah.
that position he had himself in is what you want. You want that rush to the red ball, and you can't sometimes achieve much more than that at the opening.
Well, depending where the blue is, he could possibly still get a good rush to the red. By going off to the
yes. However, it gives Josh the option of shooting the short shot at blue-black, whereas or a long double. But there's a few more options now for Josh, so it's interesting compromise that Lachlan. I'm not sure if it's Lockie or Lachlan. I'll keep calling him Lachlan. That's his name.
That looks as though it could be a tasty double from the B bulk, actually.
Yeah. There's probably not much difference between the short shot and the double, so it's just the shot that you fancy the most on the line and what the court's doing, Don't think there's any wrong shot. East boundaries on court 1 and 2 at Keenley are tough, so you want to know which way it swings. So it might be aiming at the in the field ball on this shot and seeing what happens, rather than directly in the middle of the double, unless you can hit it at extreme pace.
He's moved the ball off the corner anyway. You can see there, brought it into the lawn a little bit. Trying to get the double, presumably, absolutely plumb. And that's a good shot up there. You can now see what he's attempting to hit down the bottom of the screen, the blue and the black. That's a nice distance apart.
Again, another good camera angle. You can see Josh putting a good stalk in here. Coming to the ball before he strikes. Looks a good swing. Got a chance. Oh, just inside.
Just inside the black, yes.
Yeah.
So that
and he hit it with good power.
Yeah. I would suggest that Lachlan will probably play blue and attempt to get a corner cannon here.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
That'd be a nice shot to watch.
And
so cannon being a situation where the player has all 3 balls touching and allows for some inventiveness, but no, he's decided to go the other way. Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, he's got a great cut rush, hasn't he? He's played with power as well.
Yes, that's right. It's where he wanted it. Yeah. I think it's almost hit the second hoop. Yeah, look at that. So it's always interesting figuring out what's going to happen on a croquet lawn.
Yeah, I mean, I like the approach Lachlan takes into it. He's certainly out there on the lawn to get a break going, and he's won his first 2 games pretty convincingly, so it's working. So it's you don't want to get too conservative on trying to get this first break going. He's playing the shots he knows he can do. And he's getting it rolling quickly.
And that looks just a bit short. He'd like it maybe another half a metre over to get a nice sweet rush down to the first hoop here, but he can cut it.
You can. The trade-off is, though, by taking that cut rush tin with the blue rather than rushing down to yellow, and even if he doesn't want the cannon, rushing the yellow up to that spot at least allows them to walk away with a ball at hoop 1 and a ball at hoop 2, and yourself together over on the east.
Yes,
so,
utterly agree.
you know,
Utterly agree. I love cannons. I think, you know, as I say, if you know what you're doing with cannons, you can achieve really fantastic positions on the lawn.
Yeah. They're powerful things, and it looked like a set cannon.
Yeah, well, that was a bit short, his approach to the first hoop. So he's going back up to the black ball, which could be nasty in the hoop, but oh no, it's away. Okay, do you go over to the yellow or do you shoot at the blue-black? It depends whether he's got a double blue-black here.
Yeah, I think I'm probably shooting at yellow.
Yeah. And lowering any possibility of giving Lachlan an easy break.
Yeah, it's probably in the mind that whatever miss he has, there is a break there for Lachlan. So again, it's just what sometimes the lay of the land looks like, feels best for you. And if this is any sort of double on blue and black, you may take it.
So I believe we've just been joined by Ed. Are you with us, Ed? No, it looks as though it might
Hello,
take
I
a
believe
few
I'm
more
here.
minutes. Oh,
Can you hear me?
Hello, Ed.
Hello, Tim. So we're seeing the opening of the game between Josh and Lachlan here.
Yeah. Now that's an
Josh
interesting
playing
lineup. Where's he going
a defensive position. I like it.
Yep. Not even
So
joining
just
his cornered ball.
No, fairly dry opening. Yeah, so Lachlan has nothing laid out.
Yeah.
So if I saw correctly, it looked like Lachlan had a bit of a rush towards hoop 1 from down near hoop 2. That's the start of something for sure. He showed that he's got enough power to hit this shot appropriately all the way up there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. I was pretty jealous to not be in the booth for the ending of that Robert Fletcher game, Tim. That looked extraordinary.
It was full of very eventful. It was a very good game in the end, and Robert was playing at top speed.
Yep. Definitely brought some excitement to Canley for sure. Seeing Robert run, isn't a normal thing on the competition lawn at least. So.
Yes, in fact,
really,
I've actually heard a referee give a warning to players running on the lawns, which has seemed to me to be a little bit strange if you're constrained for time. I think it's quite a reasonable thing to get a hurry up. Anyway, Lachlan's just done a beautiful approach to the first hoop there. Blue's nicely up the lawn so he can start his 2-ball break.
And he's controlled that hoop really well. That's a cracking shot.
Lovely. It really is.
Wow. I haven't seen Lachlan play before, but he's clearly got quite a good swing and got plenty of power and can hit a ball straight. So, and he's also proven just now that he can play a really good croquet stroke as well. And, with the only player, if I'm correct, with a triple in the first round, looks like he might be in some good form.
Certainly does. And there's another nice approach just about to make the second hoop with black. And
Amazing.
very likely a good rush either to the red or to his hoop in order. I think he's going to the red. It looks as though he's winding himself up for a shot to go off the border with the blue. Oh,
Yeah, when you're in a...
well.
That was definitely what he was attempting. The shot didn't look quite as clean. You know, he didn't really release through the shoulders all that much.
Yeah.
So he might have just mishit that slightly or hit the ground. You know, as I said,
look,
he's got
to
quite
be
a
honest,
nice
he
swing,
might
but
have.
It looked like he just pulled back on that one a little bit.
I don't know. I don't know how far that blue's gone. Whether it's actually managed to get a decent. No, it's not gone far enough. He could have been attempting also to cut it down to the yellow, and he's taking off from the blue now to get to the yellow, which is down in the corner here.
Yeah, when you're in this situation, it's generally better to be picking up the balls earlier, just working them into the lawn when you can. You know, you don't want to sort of get around to hoop 5 and then have to be chasing your tail and coming back to balls that are on the boundary. You know, as sometimes simple and straightforward as just 2-balling around is, if you can get balls out into the lawn, whether they're loads at hoops or not, it definitely has plenty of value. Wow, he's looking at a roll here. This is certainly a very aggressive shot. So trying to get yellow out.
Do you think he's trying to load the third hoop? Oh no, blue's good at the third hoop, so yes, he's loading it into the middle of the lawn somewhere.
Wow, he's put it right up the end. So more of a defensive
That's
shot.
his load for one back, is it? Okay.
The area.
Hi all, Rosie here, Rosie Landry. How are you guys today? Listening to your commentary of this interesting match.
Yeah.
Hello, Rosie. It's Tim Wolford-Smith and Ed.
Yeah, hi. Just popping on for Pete for a minute so I can have a quick drink and a bit of a rest. It's been an interesting morning's play, particularly watching Robbie in the previous game having a bit of a scoot around the lawn there right at the deck. It was good to watch.
Always nice to see some quick play like that, isn't it? And it's surprising how well people can play when they get that speed up.
Yeah, and just on a completely unrelated note, looking at Lachlan Berryman out there as if he was playing in Southport or Noosa, and we've got the word through that it's roughly 14 degrees, feels like 10 out there, so tough guy.
Right.
I'm very impressed.
Look, if it was 2 degrees warmer, he'd take his hat off.
This is a great looking hoop.
Yes, it is, and he's winding himself up. I like the way that he actually does those practice swings. He's now, did that go through clean? My video wasn't adequate enough to show that.
No, and maybe he thinks he's over in Adelaide today at the GC too, so interesting to watch. Looks like it did. And he's turning down the return.
Yeah, going for the blue that's already loaded at the 4th hoop.
Lachlan's had some very good results this morning that we've seen there. He's had a triple.